Welcome to what I think is the best exit strategy for crypto. Maybe you are sitting on a bag of Bitcoin or altcoins and you're asking yourself, how should I get out? When should I get out? You see all these different YouTube videos where people give you different opinions, like you should sell in May and you should sell earlier than that, or you should sell by the end of the year. You should never sell. Or there are people saying you should have already sold because the market is dead. We think that plan over there. The market isn't. So in this video, I want to give you the, in my opinion, answer, which isn't even an answer because there is no answer to this question. If I confuse you already, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it. So at this particular moment of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $94,000, and that's completely fine, right? I think to start with an exit strategy, you have to understand where we are in the market, because again, you might think that the market is going to top out then, and other people give you other opinions. But let's all agree that I don't have a shit clue, and you don't, right? That's not a word, but we all don't know when the market is going to end. Of course, we can take our best guess. Are you actually willing to put all your money on a guess? I will be very careful with that, right? So you have to really understand, like, okay, where in the market are we? Because you also don't really want to sell way too early, right? I see some comments here and there for people that saying like, oh, you should sell right now and it's all going down. And I feel like, ooh, but that's also dangerous because one, there's a very good chance that you will miss out in that case on the real altcoin bull market. Two, there's a good chance that you get a lot of FOMO and that you will get back in. Because if you now already sell, then you're very emotional, right? You look at the market being down a little bit and you'll be like, oh, I need to get out. So if the market goes up again, you're probably just as emotional and buy the top again. So let's quickly analyze the market right now and then go over what I think is the best exit strategy for this crypto market. And later on, we will talk a lot about getting in at the bottom or around the bottom at least to do this all over again. Because there is, I think, a pretty good strategy in crypto to make real life-changing money without taking too much risk, actually. With that said, Bitcoin at this moment is bouncing off of this horizontal support. We tested this like once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7 times right now. The bulls are in control right here. And like I said in yesterday's video, it's possible that we break it. I mean, it could be, right? Definitely. Then what can we expect? Well, like I said as well, if we do see a correction of around 30% in total, which could bring us back maybe lower than that though, to $80,000 or to the $70,000 range, one, that's huge support, right? Because usually you range for a while, you break out and you actually retest that level, right? Which we haven't done actually, right? We range, we broke out and we never retested that level. Also, that's a 30% correction. In 2021, the post-halving year, we had a 30% correction. And in 2017, we had it as well. So if that happens, there will be only more confirmation that the cycle is intact. And that's very bullish because after that correction in 2021, we were far from over, right? We had a year of bull market to go. And in 2017, it's the same case. It was far from over. We had a year of bull market to go. And especially for the altcoin market, as altcoins tend to outperform in the post-halving years. Okay, so that's for the shorter time frame, maybe this month, something like that. If we do see a big correction, which I don't know if it's going to happen, but if we do, then that would be normal, right? That would not mean that the market is over. So please don't be like, oh shit, it's going down, because everybody is on its period in crypto, right? Like everybody is like, with the smallest things that happen and they think it's over. So please try to ignore that. Look at the actual market. If that happens and be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But this is normal, right? There's this, which has always followed. So don't sell right here because you're scared, because you're going with the sentiment of other people. Okay. Because in the bull markets, you can get wrecked. Like there are people that sold right here and bought back right here. Right. Like, and they will keep on doing that. And now that Bitcoin is like what, 6x up or so, people are still not in profit, right? There are still people in crypto that haven't made profits this cycle. And that might be because you're in the wrong altcoins. That might be because you bought at the wrong time. Mostly it's the second, right? And that's what I'm really trying to help with as far as I can, of course, and as far as my experience goes. But I don't know it all. Let that be very clear. I make a lot of mistakes, but the most important thing is that if I look back at the beginning of the cycle, and if I look at what I have right now, yeah, I made a lot of money. So I feel like, okay, somehow it is going well, right? And the market hasn't even exploded yet compared to what I think it's going to do. So if we see something like this happen, or not even, right, and we range and go up even more, and let's say altcoins, they go with it because the Bitcoin dominance is looking really weak, especially the Bitcoin dominance without stable coins. If this was an altcoin, I would have sold it right now, right? But it's looking really weak. So it's in altcoins' favor. And very quickly about that, I mean, the Bitcoin dominance is that's what was rising, right? And that was the reason why altcoins were getting wrecked. Now, it was mostly rising because of the bull market support band and this rising wedge. Both of those things are now resistance for the Bitcoin dominance. As you can see, it's below the wedge, below the bull market support band. So we have two extra factors in crypto that slapped altcoins down, which are now dragging altcoins up. Therefore, not only therefore, but it's another reason why I expect a pretty good year for altcoins. So how and what and when to exit the market, right? Like, again, there are a lot of people, they do it based on price, right? They look at their altcoins, and let's take an example of an altcoin. Doesn't really matter which one, AVAX, for example. They look at the market and they be like, okay, you know what? I bought AVAX somewhere here. If it goes to $100, I'm gonna sell. Right? You can do that. Then again, price predictions are very hard, right? That's a fact. Price predictions are popular on YouTube, I know, but they are very hard. Time predictions are easier. And I said this before, but I can say, for example, like, hey, Bitcoin goes to 300K in December 2025, right? By the end of the cycle. But if Bitcoin is sitting at $220,000 in December, yeah, I won't be holding that Bitcoin for the rest of the month because I expect another 100K inflow. I will be like, hey, whatever, it's December. Timing says that this is the top out period, whatever the price is right now. So let's get rid of it. Right. So I am not much about, setting a price target necessarily. I'm more of setting a time target plus a price range for the overall altcoin market, whatever the price of my specific altcoin at that time might be. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, I, for example, gave some predictions on the channel. Well, predictions, such a disgusting word, like expectations, that the altcoin market, like, there is a realistic chance, and a really realistic chance, that it goes to around $3 trillion by the end of this year. That's if the market tops out again by the end of this year, right? And that's the most likely outcome, but who knows, right? Does it mean that I am sitting on my bag of altcoins waiting until it gets there? What if it moves like this, right? Like, moves like this, and I'm waiting, almost there, and that's not what you want to do, right? And I think we all know that what you want to do in crypto, of course, is you want to dollar cost into the market when it's low, and you want to dollar cost out of the market when it's high, and you will get a lot of shit for it. Like, especially, I already want to say, as a public YouTuber or whatsoever, I'm gonna get so much shit. I'm gonna love it, right? Why? Because I will be talking about selling on this channel, here, right? And there will be people saying like, "Whoa, you sell way too soon," and this and that because it's gonna top out here. Look, but that's already the losing strategy, right? You should not forget about this right away. Like, you should never try to time the bottom or the top, because you will not be able to do so anyway. And there is a lot of risk. Like I said, if you want to time it and it goes down right before it gets there, then what have you done, man? Like, you wrote it all for nothing. DCA in, DCA out. Okay, that's like the thing that I can tell. So, will I sell too soon? Yes. Will I sell pretty decently around the top? Maybe at it at some one DCA level? Maybe. Will I sell later than the top? Yes. Like, sell all around it, right? Sell all around it. So that's one thing that I will be doing, but not with all of my money. And here comes the answer to the question that has no answer: is, when should you exit the market? And again, if you post that question anywhere, people will come with dates and months and whatever. But that's not the right answer, because the question isn't maybe right. When you should ask yourself, when should I exit the market? And it sounds stupid, but this is, I think, really the best way to do it, because you should have a goal, right? You had so much time right here to prepare, set a goal, work towards it, right? You should have a goal. If you invested, let's say, $1,000 in crypto around the bottom, it's very possible that you sit at around $5,000 now, maybe, right? Maybe more, but overall in the market, if you were pretty conservative, you should be sitting at 5K. If your goal right here was to go from 1,000 to 100,000, you now still have to make a 20x, right? So let's say the market here at this first period where our DCA out did like a 6x, I'm DCAing out. But if your goal is to get a 20x, then maybe for you, it's too soon to start DCAing out, because you will not reach your goal, right? I also think that that goal is maybe a little far-fetched. But apart from that, if you are too far from a pretty realistic goal, then you should not sell too soon. For example, I have a certain goal in my head, and my goal is reachable within a 2-3x from this point, right? So I will be selling a lot once I already hit a 2 or 3x, right? And for a lot of people, that might be way too soon, and they will be talking about like, you're crazy and you should not sell and this and that. But for me, I can look at the market and be like, okay, I already reached my goal. So, and the market is getting higher and higher. So there's more risk in the market, right? Because there's more downside than upside at a certain point. So why would I hold on to that risk for longer when I already reached my goal? What else do I want? Like, that's the danger about crypto. You never have enough money, of course, right? Like, if you start with $1,000 and you make 5,000, then you want 10,000, then you want 100, then you want 1,000,000, but then you want 10 million. Like, that never stops. Honestly, like, that's infinite, right? So you have to have a goal. Otherwise, you will just be fucking around this whole time, and eventually you will write it down again. So make your goal, make a realistic goal. If your goal from this point is to make a 50x with crypto, it's like, it's not impossible, but it's not the most realistic goal. And you should realize that, okay, if you want a 50x, fine, but be very much prepared to lose it all, because you have to take a lot of risk, right? A lot of risk. Like, for me, a 2-3x, I don't have to take, I can almost be in Bitcoin to reach that, right? Like, that's maybe even possible, right? Like, I don't need to take a lot of risk in this case. But that's where the fun thing comes in. get your timeline together as well. Like I know a lot of people, they and let me do this like this. I know a lot of people, they treat crypto like it's some kind of a casino, right? Or a lottery where they feel like, wow, with crypto you can make money overnight. Yeah, look, if you hear the success stories of people that bought certain coins very early, they made a lot of money. But the chance is very, very, very low that that happens, right? Overall, you should not treat crypto like that. Crypto is investing. It's you have to be smart. You have to be emotional dad inside. You have to be strategic. You have to have a lot of patience, and then you can make a lot of money. But with crypto, overall, slow and steady wins the race. Put 10 people that invest money and they want to be rich overnight against 10 people that have a 4-year time span. The people with a 4-year time span will make a lot more money, and the 10 people that want to get rich overnight will probably end up at the McDonald's. That's really a fact, right? And there will also always be one person somewhere that hits the jackpot. But buy lottery tickets if that's what you're doing, right? Your odds of winning are higher there. Um, so what you, I think, want to do is that, I don't know how old you are. I have some young viewers, I have some older viewers, but I assume and hope that we all have at least like maybe 5-6 years plus to live, right? So I don't know. Depends if you're vaccinated. No, I don't know. So what you maybe want to do is look further than only this cycle, because if your goal is to make a 50x, right? Let's say you have $10,000 and you want to make a 50x. 50x in your 10K, that's a really decent amount, right? And you have $500,000. That's really, really good for somebody who started with $10,000. Now, is that doable to do that from this point in the cycle? Again, it's not impossible, but yeah, I don't know. You can lose your 10K and then, right? What you can also think about for yourself is like, yeah, do I need that 500K? Now, of course, everybody wants it, but do I need it right now? If you need it that much, then you probably need that 10K also enough to not risk it that much, right? So if you want to make 500K out of 10K, have a slightly longer term time span. So in that case, look at the altcoin market, for example, right? And Bitcoin, and be like, man, we have a bull coming right here, probably, right? But then we have a bear coming and another prepare phase, and then another bull. Let me not like time wise it probably makes sense, but price wise it doesn't matter. Let me do it like this, just to make it look nice. Bam. So what you can say to yourself is like, hey, if the next bull market starts, beginning of 2029, right? The altcoin parabolic bull market, if we keep on with the 4-year cycle, then you can be like, okay, it's now beginning 2025. By the end of 2029, that's kind of 5 years from now, I can have that, right? Because if you want to do a 50x, you can make a 5x right here, maybe, and then you can make a 10x right here. You got it, right? A 5x right here should be very doable. 10x in a full market right here should be very doable, right? And this has nothing to do with exit strategies anymore. But it has something to kind of lines up with it, right? Because if you want to exit the market, then you can also be fully prepared in the next market, actually. So I would say what I'm doing for the next cycle, I'm playing it like this. I'm riding my altcoin bags. I'm getting the hell out of crypto, totally. I'm allocating myself into Bitcoin right here, and I'm converting that Bitcoin into altcoins right here and writing it again. Simple. Like, that's how it always works. Why go against it, right? And if by that time, like, that's my plan. If by that time it turns out that, I don't know, whatever happened, it could always change. But so far, it didn't. So let's do that, right? But back to the exit strategy, set your goal, a realistic goal, and DCA out based on that goal, right? That's the only answer. I can tell you, like, hey, I think that the market is going to top out at the end of 2025. So I'm selling in September. Yeah. But what if I'm wrong? Like, I don't want to base all my money on that. Of course not. It's a risky financial market. Anything could happen. Like, the chance that that happens is minimalistic. But what if, right? So make sure to walk away with something. You came in crypto to make money, not to lose money. So prevent that at least, right? Um, so that's my exit strategy. I will be selling actually when the market has its next leg, and I'm gonna just slowly DCA out of the market. Now it kind of depends what you are in as well, right? Because for example, and that's what I talked about, I think yesterday, I'm in Launchpad tokens. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell my Launchpad, my Seedify, my ChainGPT here, right? That's the most stupid thing that you can do actually, because Launchpads and their IDOs always have the best results peak bull, right? In the last bull market, it was also here the best place to participate in IDOs, and here it was the best place to participate in IDOs, right? And although your vesting happens here, the the tokens that come out nowadays don't have like 3 years vesting anymore. Like that's kind of over, right? So that you don't write the bear market down, not with a big amount. Plus, if you get like 20% TGE on these new launches, and you make a 300x on TGE, and you get 20% of that, 60x. Yeah, that's more like fine, right? Let the rest be passive income right here. That's completely. I will be able to live with that. So therefore, I have an exception to this rule because Launchpad tokens are the tokens that I don't buy right now to sell when they're high. I'm using them to get into new launches. But overall, if it comes to buying altcoins to sell them higher, then I will be just sitting. I will look at your own goal. And again, if you now are in the market and be like, well, my goal is to make 50x, so the market really has to completely, then you should ask yourself, like, is my goal actually realistic? And then it's probably the answer that it isn't, right? Now, in the Alpha Factory, I show you what I buy, what I sell, when I sell, the coins that I shuffle. One example that I gave, and I think I made it on a public channel as well, I'm not sure. But in the meantime, and that's maybe a little off topic, right? But in the meantime, you can do something pretty interesting. And that's this. Let me check this right here. Where do we have it? Oh, bam. All right. So I said on the channel, and at least in the Fomo and the Alpha Factory, there's a link down below if you want. I said like, hey, you can also trade coins for coins. And I have to check really quick what happened because either ChainGPT mooned or, oh, yeah. Wow. Look, so yeah, okay, cool. So I said this like, hey, you can trade coins for coins, right? If you don't want to play with money. So I traded some ChainGPT for Seedify at 530 right here. And it went all the way up to like 8, give or take, right? So that's 40% more tokens. Now it got wrecked back to that level because ChainGPT is completely exploding, and I love it because I still have a good bag, but I want to see what happens. But 50% pump in like an hour, that's not coming out of nowhere, so that's insane. So you'll see that even in this market, some coins are just bam. By the time you watch the video, probably came down a lot. Maybe at least, I don't know, but such a pump is 9 times out of the 10 not that sustainable. Maybe it is this time. But trade coins for coins to increase your altcoin back in the meantime that the altcoin market is not really moving hard, right? And then when the market is moving hard, you have a way bigger bag. And then you can also afford to DCA out a little more and more and more and more and more. So I just want to leave it here. Video kind of all over the place. Sorry for that. I hope it was helpful though. I hope you like the new sound that I have. I bought some plugins because I'm kind of a nerd for that shit. So yeah, this let me where do we have that thing? All right, that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Sorry for that. If you want to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.